Our next guest is someone that T-Ruck and I got to meet at the Brooklyn Coffee and Tea Expo. It is Kyle, and we liked him so much we invited him here. Hello, how are you?
How are you? Very well, thank you.
Wow, tea so delicious that it lingers beyond the first taste. It is so good. How did you come up with this brand?
I was at a beer festival and I was thirsty. You know, there's a lot of great beers out there, but they don't always quench your thirst. And I had a light bulb moment where beer is brewed, tea is brewed. Why isn't there a craft brewed iced tea? So I tried to find one and I couldn't. So then I made one.
Excellent. So tell us about the process. What do you mean by brewed?
Right.
What are the ingredients in it?
Yeah, so our tea is truly has a tea first taste. We think it's important to taste tea. So we generally use 3 ingredients. It's water, tea, dried fruit of the flavor that it is, and then a little bit of organic cane sugar.
Wonderful. Yeah. Now your brand has grown and you're like in retail stores and things like that. So it's at first you're making small like home batches.
Yep.
And tell us as an entrepreneur how you had to grow that for yourself. What were the steps that you took to get from making it at your house to
Yeah, so it was we were figuring that out, brewing bottles at or gallons at a time, being up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I drank 3.5 gallons of iced tea that night. And then so it was finding a space that we were legally allowed to brew it in. So we found an incubator space that's run by Stony Brook University that we've been working out of for the last 3 years. And then now we're brewing 60-gallon batches. We do 4 of them in a night. We're doing that twice a week. So we're making a lot of tea. And like you said, the retailers and stuff, we just got picked up by Best Market and a few other interesting places on the East End.
Wonderful. Yeah. You've been doing a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Do you find that bringing your product to market that way is the best way for you to launch a brand?
Well, in the beverage world, for sure, it's really hard to get people to be willing to spend $1 or $2 on a product they're unaware of. So being able to sample it and get people just to try it is really important. And once they try it, they understand what the brand's about, that tea first taste, 100% organic, no preservatives. And we think that that's a good way to get people aware of it.
One of the things when I first met you with Tim T-Ruck was that he's from Florida and he knows a lot about sweet tea. So you have different varieties and they're all delicious. Do you have a favorite?
So my favorite right now I think is our peach tea.
Okay.
So again, that tea first, a little fruit, peach, and then a little bit of sweet on the backside. It's a new flavor for us. But you were talking about the sweet tea. We have a subtly sweet. It's our take on the southern sweet tea, but it's not overpowering.
Okay.
You're still getting tea. And then you get that sweet, but you're not getting any aftertaste of fake or anything because a lot of the other tea brands are using fake artificial stuff. Not us, 100% organic, and we think that's a good thing.
Now, what do you think about pouring it into a little pot and like having it warm?
It's incredible. So our fall seasonal flavor is a sweet potato tea, which goes great warming it up. You know, so it's on those cold, rainy October, December days. It's a good thing to to heat it up however you want. But the rest of the flavors too kind of have that flavor profile because we're just using tea and fruit. You still have all of that. The goodness comes through. And
that's one of the ones that I tasted, and I told you it tastes like Thanksgiving.
Yep.
It just does. It makes you feel so warm and cozy inside and just even cold. It just has that, you know when you smell a flower, Kyle, and it brings you back? When you taste your teas, it's that same type of experience. It's really hard to describe, especially here just in a conversation. Right. You really have to try it to experience it.
Yep.
But I just want to tell you that that's one thing I love about your teas is that you drink it and you have, it creates a new memory as well as it's reminiscent of like holidays.
Yeah, and that's a huge compliment. You know, we want you to, you know, it's mom's iced tea, right? You know, my mom, she was always making sun tea as a kid growing up, and that's where I got my appreciation for tea. And we were able to kind of really capture that, get it in a bottle, because we're not using preservatives where you're not covering up those funky, you know, with those funky flavors, and you're really being able to let the tea talk for itself.
And you are a family guy, which is so cool. Like your dad too. I got to meet your dad.
Yeah,
and,
he's great.
With his experience in carpentry, you built your own type of like stands and stuff like that with your bare hands.
Yeah, we're a hands-on company. We do everything right now by hand. We have a few key people, like you said, my dad. I got a friend that's helping, and we're really doing it the way, like a handcrafted product. You know, it's really, that's getting lost. That's why we're a craft brewed iced tea, because there is that doing it by hand, putting those caps on, filling those bottles, building the stands, and I think that the branding speaks for that.
Now, what would you offer to entrepreneurs, somebody that has an idea? What's a good first step that you took that you would say, yeah, you know what, I did that part right, that you could offer to the audience?
Jump in. Like, if you don't do it, it'll never get done. What worked for it was a funny thing for me. I felt like I needed to tell people I was doing it because then I was accountable, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. When I did stand-up, I did the same thing. I put on Facebook that I was like going to do stand-up. Never did it before. Took the class and then said, oh no, I've told everybody. Now I have to keep my word. So you did the same thing?
Yeah,
you kept your word to yourself.
Or I kept my word to myself by telling people I was going to do it. And they're like, oh yeah, you're going to start an iced tea company. Cool, sure. And now I did. So
Excellent.
Here we are.
Gosh, Kyle, thank you so much. And I know that you're making a huge donation to us for Long Island Cares, and we're so excited about that. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And tea for me and tea for you.
Yeah, tea for everybody.
Yeah, woo, tea for everybody. Thank you for watching Live It Up. Stay tuned for all the goodness that's in subtle tea.